Hi, and welcome to the tutorial on how to report commercial feed inspection tonnage using the ExtraView database. Tonnage is paid by any person who distributes commercial feed to a consumer buyer in California. Reporting and payment are required quarterly and considered delinquent if not reported by the deadline. For example, Q1 reporting includes all tonnage from January 1st to March 31st of any given year and is considered late if reported after April 30th. There are a few exemptions from the inspection tonnage tax. This video will not explain who's responsible for paying inspection tonnage tax. If you are unsure what products to pay inspection tonnage tax on, you can view our helpful infographic found on the CFRP homepage or contact us at the email found at the bottom of the slide. The tonnage of certain human food byproducts, as defined in regulation, are eligible for a reduced tonnage tax rate of $0 for the first 1,000 tons and half of the regular rate after 1,000 tons. Those eligible products are in the category shown here, human food byproduct diversion eligible, and the eligible byproducts are listed under feed category. If you would like to learn more on this topic along with full definitions, please go to our human food diversion webpage at https://www.cdfa.ca.gov/is/FFL-DRS/SAFE human food waste diversion.html. To begin, log into the ExtraView database, which can be accessed from the website directly at https://inspect.cdfa.ca.gov or our CFRP webpage. From the CFRP webpage, scroll down to the ExtraView database button. As you scroll, you will see several other resources regarding licensing and tonnage. Click the button to log in. Remember when entering your login credentials that your user ID is not case sensitive, but your password is case sensitive. There's also a forgot password feature if needed. From your firm's homepage, scroll down to the Mill Assessment Tonnage Tax or Commercial Fertilizer Tonnage Report section. Then find the row which has the quarter you need to report listed in the period column and state tonnage tax in the record type column. Click the Edit button on the left. This button will appear 1 month prior to the end of the quarter. This opens a page where you will enter your tonnage information. Before you begin, we recommend viewing the Commercial Feed Tonnage Tax Reporting Guide, which provides more detailed explanations. The guide is available on our website or by simply clicking the blue link here. This is the tonnage guide. In order to know which feed category you should select, it's really helpful to first view page 7, which provides a list of all the feed categories by feed type. This list shows every option which will populate in the drop-downs of the form. For example, if you have tonnage of almond hulls to report, you can see they fall in the feed type of byproducts. It will be easy to choose the correct feed type and feed category as you go through the form if you keep this reference handy. Now we can start filling out the form. At the top of this page is a question: do you have tonnage to report? If you do not have tonnage to report for the quarter, select no. You will still need to certify at the bottom and then hit update to submit the form. If you do have tonnage to report for the quarter, select yes. This opens a prompt to fill out your tonnage information. In this section, you are to enter the quarterly tonnage for each feed category found within the feed type and each species the tonnage was intended for. For example, we select byproducts, and then those feed categories have populated, and we can select almond hulls. Then select the species of animal for which the feed is intended for. Ideally, you would fill out tons of almond hulls for each species. For example, 1 entry for dairy cattle and a new entry for beef cattle. To add a new line, click Add Another Row. Then continue to input all tonnage by the appropriate category with a new row for each species. You will notice there is an option for multiple species specify as well as unknown. Use multiple species if you are unable to separate the tonnage by species accurately. Anytime you see specify, this box is going to appear in which you write in your description, for example, beef, dairy, sheep, goats. If you have no idea what species the products are intended for, unknown is an option. Whether you had tonnage to report in question 1 or not, there's a second question relating to byproducts diverted to animal feed. Do you want to voluntarily report total diversion of byproducts to animal feed to be collected for organic waste diversion goals set forth by Senate Bill 1383? For more information regarding when and how to report in this section, click on the More Info link to the right of the question or contact the program with further questions. This section is to voluntarily report tonnage of organic waste and otherwise known as byproducts, which is not subject to inspection tonnage tax and therefore not already reported in the previous section. Some examples would be tonnage of almond hulls, which were sold out of state, or tonnage of tomato pumice, which was diverted to pet food. These organic waste byproducts must originate in California. If you do not have any tonnage for this section, select No. If you do, then select Yes. In this section, you may have inputs to report or outputs or both. Remember, this section is only for tonnage of byproducts, which is not subject to inspection tonnage tax. Here we have an example of a complete tonnage report with various feed types, feed categories, and reported by species for the quarter. Notice there are individual rows for each species, and medicated and non-medicated feed is separate. We also have some tonnage of eligible byproducts, which will have the reduced rate. We also have some tonnage in the voluntary section. Note that all fields in red are required, so I have placed a 0 in the input section here. Once all tonnage information is entered, a review is recommended to be sure all required sections have been completed and verify that your tonnage tax is calculated correctly. You can see the breakdown of your tonnage tax dues in the tonnage tax total section. Notice the total for diversion is 0. That is because I have not reported 1,000 tons for the license period yet, so this tonnage is free up to 1,000 tons. Under the fee schedule section, you will see total due, which should match the sum of fee due, regular tons, and fee due diversion. The total due reflected here will be added to your cart for payment. Go ahead and submit by filling out the Certify section and then hitting the Update button at the top or bottom of the screen. If you are reporting human food byproducts diversion, you will see a pop-up message when you go to submit your tonnage report. Make sure to read the message carefully and select the best option for you. Now your items will be in your cart and ready for payment, and this window will close automatically so you can return to your home page. From the home page, we now see New on the status for this license location and can continue to input tonnage for all our other license locations, or we can edit and resubmit the same one if there was an error. View the cart by clicking this blue arrow, and we see that reported tonnage is appearing. To learn about how to pay for items in your cart, view our video on that topic. For any technical issues with the system, email ffldrsdb@cdfa.ca.gov. However, all other questions related to commercial feed should be addressed to the CFRIP at feed_lvstk@cdfa.ca.gov. Please view the next videos to learn how to pay for items in your cart, renew a license, and more.